My name is Francine Banwarth. I'm from Dubuque, Iowa, and I'm currently serving as the editor for Frogpond Journal. That's the journal for the Haiku Society of America. I came to haiku in 1988. I was a longtime friend of Bill Pauley. Bill Pauley was a professor at Loras College, and he was currently teaching the only haiku class, I think, that was being taught in the area, well, in Dubuque, in Iowa or Wisconsin. I think Randy Brooks at the time was teaching at Millikan University. But Raymond Roselape, the priest haikuist, had taught at Loras, and Bill was a student of his. He had died 5 years previously in 1983, I believe, and they were having a 5-year anniversary to mark his passing and what he had brought to the haiku community. When I walked into the Loras Gymnasium on that Saturday, there were folks like George Sweet, Anita Crummins, Robert Spees, Bill Pauley, Donna Bowerly, Sister Mary Thomas Eulert, the haiku folk who knew and loved the works of Raymond Roselape from around the country. And so I was baptized in that moment when I heard them read their wonderful works, and I kind of took off from there. I think the interest for haiku has to have begun, in Dubuque anyway, with Raymond Roselape, because he was quite a bit ahead of his time, and the influence that he had on Bill Pauley, and then that course that was taught there for 25 years. So I know that in Dubuque, Iowa, I don't know around the rest of the area of Iowa, but I know in Dubuque that was crucial. We were talking about it last night. If Raymond Roselape had not been a priest at Loras and a poet and a haiku poet, and had mentored Bill in a way, and then Bill taking it off on his own, it would not have happened in Dubuque. We would not have been doing it. To take on the editorship of a journal like Frogpond was, the thought itself was very daunting to me, and it took a long week and a lot of discussions with other people, my family, my friends, and myself, to decide whether or not I should do that. And I think I did it for a couple of reasons. And one of the reasons is a quote that I remember by Eleanor Roosevelt, who said, "You must do the things you think you cannot do." And if we don't do that, then we're not reaching, we're not stretching, we're not growing through our lives. And oftentimes we cut ourselves off before we allow ourselves to know our true passions. I think what inspires us is not our own work, but the work of others. Don't only just read the work of others, but study the work of others. What I need to do my own writing is to separate myself from the daily routine, to just stand by a window and look out, to sit out in the backyard and hear the wind through the pines. I need to remove myself. It'll come around again. And often I find, too, that when one doesn't write for a while and has the time to just kind of get away from it, when there's a fallow time, often out of that time comes new growth. But writing should never stop. One should always be writing. And by that I think I mean that writing is not just a sitting at the desk and taking your pen to the blank page. Writing is more what you do every moment of the day. It's engaging our senses every moment of the day. It's being aware through our senses, one of them, a couple of them, all of them, through every moment of the day. It's being, it's a practice. It is, I don't want to compare it completely to Zen, but it is a practice that the more we do automatically. So as we we continually be aware, remind ourselves to be aware. All these fleeting moments, I think that is what, at the end of the day, sometimes I think, how many moments did I miss? Many. How many moments did I not capture? Many. How many moments did not capture me? Many. And what haiku is our center. That's what I find. It's my center. It is richness. And I'm not talking about the writing of it, I'm talking about the living of it. We are social beings. It reaches out into the greater world, because we cannot live without being aware of what's not going on only in our inner circles, But in the broader circle of the world and the universe and the ultra universe, what's way out there, it's all connected. Our creative act is something that brings truth and beauty and maybe a challenge, or maybe it brings something unsettling to people's lives. Isn't that what all art, all good art does? And haiku can also be political. It can be very political. We can't be on a soapbox opera. We can't be on a soapbox to profess what it is we think politically through haiku, but we can certainly look at the world in political terms and come to terms with those and what we believe in our own lives, and bring that to, well, the environment, for one thing. How can we write haiku and not be aware of global warming? How can we? I mean, the environment, nature is what gives us our practice in a lot of ways. So how can we not be in tune and in sympathy and in regard for what is happening in the environment? It starts here, and it like the pond, it just keeps rippling out and out and out. Well, like, it's bigger than a pond, isn't it? It's a sea. It's all connected. To be honest, it's helped me learn who I am.